every religion has its moral system, the moral system, which is called simply morality. And this is the view by a British philosopher Noel Smith in his book Ethics. He talks about the moral system as simply morality. And ethics is the philosophical study of morality. Okay? I'm lecturing on what the difference between morality and the ethics. So morality is the moral system which every religious order has. And moral system or morality describes the way human world is as it is. And what is the way the whole world is? Well, it is not very good. People are not very benevolent, and people are simply selfish and egoistic and so on. So everywhere there's a fighting and so on. All kinds of unhappy things occurring in the world. That is the world as it is. However, we cannot simply be satisfied with the world according to the religious teaching. So the religion shows an ideal world that should be realized, ideal world where people will be happy. Meaning the world as it is not really happy world. As you see, there are wars and all kinds of crimes committed, and the world as it is not quite desirable. So a moral system spells out first how the world is. People are normally selfish and greedy, and what is the word? Bellicose, try to fight all the time and want to fight, and so on. And then it spells out what the ideal world. In Christian morality, of course, the ideal world is where God is, God. And the ideal world will be realized in Christianity simply by following the teaching of Jesus Christ and what the God teaches. Then there will be our paradise. Of course, a moral system spells out the way human beings are, especially human nature. Human nature, and that's another big question. Is human nature good, or is human nature evil? And in China, there are 7 different theories of human nature. Like Mencius says, oh yes, human nature is good because it is given by heaven. But Xunzi, both Xunzi and Mencius are followers of Confucius. And Mencius says human nature is good, but Xunzi says no, human nature is evil. By birth, he is evil. Look at the history of humankind. History of humankind keeps recording all the ugly wars and killing and so on. Yeah. That simply demonstrates the truth that human nature is originally evil. And there are other theories, both good and evil and so on. In Buddhism, one form of Buddhism teaches that human nature is neither good nor evil, but it can be both. It can be either, depending on the conditions. And actually, one of the Neo-Confucian masters, Wang Yangming, said, it's amazing, he said exactly what the Buddhist teaching says. Human nature in its substance, when it is quiet, is neither good nor evil. But when it functions, it can be either good or evil. So what should we do? Well, we have to train our mind so that in any situation, our mind, human nature, must function as good mind. That's what Wang Yangming taught. Our mind, human mind, and the Grandmaster Sotasan said exactly the same thing on human nature. Human nature in its substance is neither good nor evil when it is not functioning in its substance and when it is quiet. But when it functions, it can be either good or evil. People, depending on their spiritual capacity and also depending on their previous life, the karma. Some people are, as soon as they are put in adverse conditions and trying situations, they react with unwholesome, evil functioning, like anger, greed, stupidity, and so on. So WonBuddhism teaches we have to train ourselves so that our mind can respond to the environment and conditions always with good. Okay? Remember, I was talking about the image of man. What is the ideal image of man in WonBuddhism? Anybody remember? As Sartre said, when you create the image of a man, you cannot but create the image of a man which everybody ought to be. And that image of man is a good one. But look at the world as it is. It's rather ugly, quite ugly. Somebody said the world should be as ugly as it is. Why? Because suppose the world is like a utopia or a paradise, no evil at all, then there doesn't have to be any police because everybody is good. Then all those, what is called all the police will lose their job all of a sudden if everybody becomes good, right? Because there will be no criminals. Everybody will be driving their cars according to the traffic laws and so on. Then they lose their job. But remember, hundreds of thousands of policemen, if they lose their job, what happens? They cannot send their kids to school. Then school will be affected. Moreover, suppose there is no disease, illness in the world, there's no disease, then all the medical institutions will shut up, close up. Then there are millions of people who lose their job, pharmacists and so on. You know what I mean? So somebody said, why does God allow evil in the world? And answer Leibniz, the German philosopher, gave was this: this is the best of all possible world that God can create, with all the evils in the world. Actually, these evils somehow contribute to better the world, make the world better. Because if in the world, if there's no evil, all those medical institutions will be closed, and all the prison, the prison system, how many hundreds of thousands of people are earning their bread by working